It's a very wide-ranging album, I think, in terms of...
Well, that's the thing with Cydonia, that's the whole idea. I mean, it was 3 years. I mean, Ultra Worlds was 29 years of my life. Cydonia was 3 years of my life. UF Orb was 1 year of my life. I mean, you're looking at making an album in 1 year of your life. That's 1 year of your life. You know, you've got 3 years of your life. You've got time to change it around. You hear the one that's going around at the moment, there's a Cydonia from 2 years ago that people have managed to sort of download and copy, and it's changed. And these people I met in America, they know all about Cydonia 1, and they're like, man, you're playing tracks I never heard before. So no, because I'm not let anybody fucking hear it until now.
Right. Yeah.
It's only going to be sort of like, you lot are just going to sort of like, please buy it. Make an old man happy, buy me a record. Quote unquote.
There's one track on it when you use it.
Well, there's lots of other people. Let's get through the other people, because it's not just Andy Hughes, it's Thomas Feldman.
Yeah.
They take a majority of the share of the pop side of the tracks with Centuries Once More and Ghost Dancing. He takes a major role in constructing and making that into a pop song. Along with Andy doing the engineering and maybe a bass line and working his guts off on tracks as well, not dissing him at all. And then there's the Promise track, which is done with Andy. It's the only track on the album that Andy and I actually do on our own.
Right.
It's a very nice track, actually. And that takes care of the first four. There's Simon Phillips, who's been bass player with the Orb on and off, on stage live for a few years anyway. And that's Turn It Down. Then there's Thursday's Keeper, with Which Man, recorded and arranged up in Birmingham. And there was Hamlet of Kings, done with Guy Pratt, who also went to the same school as me in youth, and has also been part of the Orb set up for the last 12 years as well. There's Aki doing the vocals on Once More and Centuries. There's Nina Walsh doing the vocals on Ghost Dancing and writing Centuries with us. After Andy had left, that was quite a mad little experience, because we were using a completely different engineer again.
Right.
All became very analogue, and we weren't using any digital sounds for one track, just making the whole thing sound like it was, what the hell's that? And that sounds brilliant, really loud. I have to say, I've been playing that out in America, and you hear it through a big system. It's really low bass, quite disturbing at times. There's Phil. Phil, one of my best friends I used to roadie with Killing Joke, who now roadies and does quite a lot of technical stuff as well with the Orb, and he's forming his own band called Lump, and this is a sort of a track we did with him. It's called A Mile Long Lump of Lard. Sort of industrial weird noises, which is quite nice. I'll go back to it if I can't remember any more. There's probably a few more, but you know, just there's Terminus, the last track, which is done with Thomas and Andy. That's a very, very, very favourable track, which is very lovely. Have you heard the new album?
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you about it. One track on it which has got this voiceover, what sounds like someone doing a voiceover audition.
That's Phil again. Everyone, this is not the first one to point this one out. Actually, there's it's part of a lost tape from the FFWD sessions in '94 with Robert Fripp, and we wanted to use that track as the last track on the album because it was so humorous. And the rest of the album was really sort of scarily nice, but it's quite sort of like, very serious musical album for once, not an Orb album. I would say that's probably the best album I've ever been involved in, the FFWD album. But that's may or may not ever see the light of day again. We don't know. But Phil, light-heartedly, had picked up 2 books, read from one, read from the other, read from one, and it became more and more. As those 2 minutes got into the last minute, he was really on a roll. So we didn't edit it. We can hear people laughing in the background in the studio, listening to it, talking. It's just hilarious. But we lost it. We misplaced the date at the time, and we got it back. I found it, refound it a few years ago. And right, it's going on the album. I don't care. So going on there. It went on the album.
And it works.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of been 3 years of Orb Silence, and you also launched the Bitty Orb and concentrated on doing that. What was the thinking behind that period?
Well, the Petty Orb was something that I've been doing since about 94, 95 actually. It was an excuse for me and Andy to go out with just armed with some records and a sampler and a keyboard.
Yeah.
And he could sample me live and then play it back. And I could then play records back off him, so it could become like 2 DJs clashing. And that was the idea behind that, with a light bulb. With Petty Orb. And that's just kind of snowballed. It's like we're getting offers all over the world for that now. I'm going out to Chile and Argentina in February, independently of all this, just as the Petty Orb with Guy, actually, because he can do all that as well. And this year I went to China with it, with Thomas, did the Petty Orb out there, and I don't know, Scotland, Japan, Moscow. It's a weird one, the Petty Orb. It's just one of those little side things that I never really thought would happen, but in a way, it's in a way where we were doing a tour of Japan with the Petty Orb versus Mad Professor in October, a couple of months ago. That was really good, but it was 3 of us, and it was more than the Orb have in the minute, so it's actually a Le Grand Orb. We have to rename it again. Who knows? No, we won't, but I think it's good grounding as well for me, just to get really close to people again, rather than all these big gigs and sort of like, you know, oh, what was the biggest gig you ever did? What was the smallest gig you ever did, mate? Did you ever do the open anchor? You know, sort of. Killing Joe did once, actually do the open anchor. Very small gig, all on beer crates, all the gear, you know. Right, even the stage was on beer crates. I mean, it's that was that small. Another question.
So, are we going to see a live Orb?
Well, I suppose that's what it's going up to. I suppose it's a good question of actually getting it together to rehearse, and the format would be John Room, who's aka Witchman, and Simon Phillips. And yes, that would probably be an Orb line-up with myself.
Yeah. And
it would work quite well, because I've worked with Witchman. We've been doing another project, as well as a track on the Orb album, of a thing called Multiverse, which is a project on Bad Orb, which is a thing I'm also doing, it's getting another label together. Just in the last 3 years, 2 years, it's been a bit like throwing yourself up against the wall when you've been so used to doing a lot of stuff. Still doing a lot of stuff, but stockpiling it and having an idea with it, and we're starting to release records next month as well on Bad Orb. An itchy right hand, what does that mean?
No idea.
Money coming in. Is that money coming in or is that money coming in? Don't worry, okay. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes.